I think I'm on live. I'm not 100% sure. So I'm looking to see if it is on the computer. Okay. I see that it's live. Yay! I got everything to work. Always a concern since I have not been doing these for very long. So, hi, my name is Julia, and I'm Julia with Julia Sue's Stamping. Today, I thought it would be really fun to show a fun fold card, which is this little fun fold card here. It opens up to give plenty of room to write a message, and you can always put paper on the back for writing a message as well. But really fun fold card. It is. It really is. And the stamp set is going to be the by my side. But you can use anything that you've got for your paper, your stamps, anything that you'd like would work with this fun fold card very easily. I'm also going to have the details on my blog if you want to take a look at that. Well, it's Julia Sue's Stamping .blogspot.com, and I'll have all the details, all the ingredients for the recipe of how to make this card, all the stuff that you would need. And I think we should get started. What do you think? So I'm gonna do the flipping around of the camera, and I'll probably have my fingers in there like usual, trying to get the work area down here. So let's take a look and see how it goes to get the workspace. So you can see that I've got the back that I have for the holder, and I'm going to just try to get this angled a little better, the camera angle a little better, the holder that I have for it, so that it's a bit more just on it. It's weird because it seems to be the opposite of what I feel like it should be. And I think that we've got it pretty well here. Okay, we're gonna go with this then. I think that's all right. Okay, so this is, like I said before, the card that I'm doing today, and let's get started on it. The stamps, like I said before, is by my side. I was considering using the Wonderful Thoughts as the words, and that would work as well if you wanted to. Really cute sentiments. I'm using a kind of a purpley pinkish paper, a berry burst. This one's called Crushed Curry. Stampin' Up! Has really interesting names on things. And the what we call designer series paper. It's a thinner paper and it's a printed paper. You can get these things at a craft store as well. I get all my stuff from Stampin' Up! Because I like how well it coordinates. And this is the masterfully made designer series paper. It's just the yummiest paper. It's so beautiful, and a lot of colors that coordinate with it. Not just the two I'm showing you, but a lot of them. It's crazy. So I started off with a 5.5 by 8.5 inch piece of cardstock that I then scored at 4.25. So I already scored that there, and I'm gonna use my bone folder to burnish. Hi, Tanya. I'm so glad you're here today. So got that there, and the designer series paper that I used, like I said, was the I can't even remember it now, the masterfully made. So I've got a piece of cardstock, and like I said, I will have all the measurements, all the colors, everything written on my blog, and you can go there to find all this information later. This is a 5.5 by an 8.5, I'm wrong, 5.25 by 2.5 piece, 5.25 by 1 3/4 inch piece, and then I've got one that's 1.25 by 4 inch piece. So I've got the card base here that I cut and I scored, and then I'm going to cut just a 1.5 inch piece off of the edge here. So bring in my cutter and I'm going to measure 1.5 inches in, cutting that off. Now, that's going to be the bottom part of the card base where it's cut. So the card will fold like that. Then I'm going to score this down 1.25 inch. So bring this back again. I already put it away. Bring it back 1.25 inch. Using the scoring blade, not the cutting. This is the cutting. I've got the scoring blade. I am probably not the only person who's accidentally used the wrong one when I'm doing a project. It's like, oh, darn it, I used the wrong one. And then I'm going to take some adhesive. I tend to like the kind that is tape better because I've actually seen the projects, my cards, after they've been mailed to people. And I'm going to take it where it has been scored. I'm going to line it up with the top of the card. There we go. So it's lined up. And I think I got it this time. Yes, perfect. Now you can see that's how the card's going to close, like that. We already have our fun fold part all done. How easy is that? Now I'm going to take that smaller piece of the designer series paper, the one that is 1.25 by 4, put a little adhesive on it. There we are. And lay it down on this top piece. So now our flap has been decorated. I cut some white cardstock so that it was 5.5. Let's see, I got that wrong. This is 5.25 by 4, and then this other white piece is 5.25 by 2.5. So this bigger one is going to go in here, and the smaller one just like that. So it is, as I'm recording this, it's not quite 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I had a little bit of a late lunch today. I made myself some nachos today for lunch. What did anybody else have for lunch? Did you have something tasty? Excuse me. All right, so now got the inside part done. I want to go ahead though, and I want to decorate it. So the great thing about this cardstock is no matter how I've cut it, it looks absolutely gorgeous. It doesn't matter. So I could put it like this or the other way, and I think I like that way better. And I could use the other side of it if I wanted to. It's just so pretty. Love that cardstock. Okay. So putting that on there, lining it up, and now the inside is all done. This is a really quick and easy card. Now I'm going to decorate the outside of it. So once again, I've got this gorgeous designer paper and trying to decide how I want to put it on. And rolling out the adhesive. So as I was saying, the reason I like to use the tape adhesive versus the glue, and I understand the glue is great because you can move it around a little bit before it dries, but I've sent cards to my mom very frequently, and then I see the card once it's gotten to her house, and quite often the glue has been really dried and comes apart. The card, something happens to it in the mail, I don't know what, but so I've got the little girl. I'm going to use some Memento ink, which is really fantastic for coloring, and ink up the little girl, stamp it. These stamps are just fabulous. I'm going to use the blender pens And these are the ones that I use because they all coordinate with this designer series paper. Like I've said before, the thing that is so great is a lot of colors match, and it tells you what colors will go with this paper. I absolutely love that. It really helps me. So I've got some of a greenish blue. It's a really dark one, and it is called a Pretty Peacock. You've got a lagoon, a yellow, pumpkin pie, crumb cake, brown, and just go ahead and start coloring in the little girl. I like to use the lighter color first. Usually use that to color things in. And then I'll go around the edges with a darker. Or I'll highlight things with it. The alcohol markers are just fabulous. The alcohol in them helps it dry it very quickly, so you can do other things with it instead of having to wait for it to dry. It's ready to put in other colors, and then they blend in really well. So you see, I'll take a darker color, go around the outside, and then I go back in with the lighter one. And I will want to have my silicone sheet underneath this because sometimes it bleeds through. Can you see that? When you put a lot of color on, it begins to bleed through. And I just blend it all in together. So, and her skin tone on this, I just have this gorgeous like light coffee color, like it has coffee with a lot of milk in it. It's just so pretty. And I used the crumb cake, the light crumb cake for that color. Stampin' Up! Does have a lot of different skin colors. You can use different skin tone colors, but I don't have those pens, so I wanted to use, of course, what I have. I don't have any choice. And the hair I did it with a dark brown color that I had, and then the dark crumb cake, because they come in a lighter and darker. And to keep them together, I like to use a hair tie, like a little scrunchie, and that helps me make sure I know where my light and darks are together. I bought these though before you could get light and darks. That's a while ago. So I've got the little girl all colored in, little yellow butterfly, because when I've been walking my dog, all I've seen are yellow butterflies lately. And then I cut her out using my paper snips. I cut it out really carefully with a little bit of white all around the outside, and I move the paper, not the scissors when I'm cutting. I move the paper around till I've got my little girl all cut out. I used the Stylish Shapes dies and cut out using my little tool, opening that up. And the plates, used the plates, ran them right through using a sandwich of paper with the die, and got a real nice circle for her to be in. And I put her on the circle, and I thought, you know, she needs something to help her to show up a little bit better. Tanya had an awesome salad. That's great. Oh, that sounds wonderful for lunch. That sounds really good. So I'm taking a blending brush, putting it on a Pretty Peacock ink, and I get a little bit of the color off first. Then I'm going to put some of the color on the circle that I cut out. And I think it's really going to help her pop up and just look so pretty. Now I'm going to close this up because I am the queen of getting ink all over myself. So I'll move that out of the way. Yeah, I think that she shows up a lot better now on that. Yes, indeed. So all I'm going to do is adhere my circle right here. Looking for my adhesive. Just put a little bit of adhesive on the back. That sounds really good for a lunch, Tanya. I might have to give that a try. Here we go. Then I'm going to put her on, and I'm going to lift her up with some dimensionals. So the card has a little more dimension. Just put a couple on the back here. I did the shirt in the pretty peacock and the skirt in the orange, the pumpkin pie. All right, and now we're going to put her on, and she takes up almost the whole circle there. Very nice. All right, and now for the sentiment. I took the sentiment from the By My Side stamp set. There are a bunch of them, so I took the one that is the Thinking of You and inking that up with the memento as well. Stamped that. And again, with the embossing folder here, I'm going to put my sentiment down. This is also from the Stylish Shapes. It has a lot of different shapes, and this one is like a banner. And I am not only great at getting ink all over myself. Yeah, the brushes, Tanya, the blending brushes are incredible. But this, you could use a sponge too to put this color on, or you could use daubers, or you could even just use a cloth if that's what you have at your house. That's any kind of those would work. And then I put the I put some washi tape that I had, or whatever kind of things, temporary type of thing you can, to help keep my die exactly where I want it over the sentiment, because I am really good at running it through and it's in a totally different place when I'm done. So I've got my plates in like a C shape. The bottom one is further and the middle one is in, and this is out, so that it grabs better through the embosser. I don't have a lot of space here, so there we go. Running it through. And the sentiment right there. So, picking it up. Just a little bit of adhesive right on the back. Whatever adhesive it is you like to use. Maybe you like glue dots better. Does anyone like glue dots better? Do you like using glue, or do you like using the strips of the adhesive tape? I would really want to know what people like to use. So there we go. The sentiment is on there, and I want to just add a little extra something with some adhesive dots here. These are adhesive backed speckled dots. I got this great little tool that I can just put right underneath the dot. Of course, now I'm not going to be able to, hey, there we go. There's one. And I always like to put an odd number of embellishments on any card that I do, because it helps the eye. It's more restful for the eye if you have an odd number, believe it or not. And now I'm going to do one more right over here. I'm going to turn that around. There we go. So, as you can see, that actually is pretty quick and pretty easy. A fun fold card. Very nice. So I have some extras of these that I've ended up making, of the Hi Sweet Friend that I did earlier in the week, and the Thinking of You Today fun fold card. So for people who comment, I am going to send out a card for you to enjoy and send out to someone that you would like. So if you're interested in having one of these cards, let me know, and I would love to send it to you. I'm not going to write anything inside it, so that you can send it out to someone that you would like. So there we go. that is the card for today. I hope you enjoyed that, and I will look forward to talking to you later. If you would please hit the like button, hit the thumbs up button on this video, I would appreciate it very much. That helps me out a lot. And if you decide you want to make any kind of a purchase, that would be great. You can go to my blog, or you can go to juliasager.stampinup.net, where I've got a store, and make a purchase. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate your time and being here today. Have a good day. Thank you. Goodbye.